My name is Joy Gihana, and I'm a mental health and family psychotherapist. I'm the founder and owner of Family Life and Beyond. And today's episode, we are going to explore the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. In our previous episodes, we did talk about, with your intimate partner, how you can continue to build that healthy, thriving relationship with your partner. And I did share with you some of the strategies that you can use. But I want to delve a little bit more on what research has in terms of some of the traps that couples are bound to fall in. And these traps may end up really straining their relationship, or even they may end up separating or divorcing because of these 4 horsemen. So again, my most favorite researcher and author when it comes to relationship, John Gottman, in his book, The 7 Principles That Make a Marriage Work, he shares with us the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. He says that when these 4 guys exist in an intimate relationship, that relationship is bound to dissolve. Or if it doesn't technically dissolve, it will be extremely dysfunctional. So what are those 4 horsemen? So the first horseman is criticism. What does that mean? So criticism is basically attacking your partner's personality instead of focusing on their behavior. People that like to criticize tend to point a finger. They tend to blame. They like to blame. And of course, naturally, as human beings, we have blame detectors. And anytime we sense some sort of blame, even when it is very subtle, our defenses go up. And so we start to go into a defensive mode. So while you may have good intentions of trying to send a message to your partner in terms of something that they really do that really annoys you or upsets you, the way you do it really matters. You don't want to make your partner feel less of who they are. You don't want to blame them and point a finger, because when you do that, the message may be lost through the translation. So a good example, for example, if you have a partner who doesn't like to clean after themselves when they're done eating dinner, and you want to address this with them, somebody who likes to criticize may go something such as, you're such a lazy person, you never clean after yourself, you always leave the dishes on the table and all that. Now, note that in that example, I'm using words such as never and always. People that like to criticize, they use those words. It almost feels like it's a forever situation. This situation will never go away. They like to use words such as always, as if there is no exception to that kind of behavior, as if your partner is always, doing whatever it is that you're trying to address. Now, what is the antidote to this? The antidote to this is to really try and complain without blaming. You can actually send a message home to your partner without necessarily having to blame them. For example, let's use that same example of, cleaning after yourself. So somebody who is complaining without pointing a finger, they will use, words along the lines of, oh, hey, I realize that you tend to forget to clean after yourself. Please remember to clean the table when you're done eating tonight. Thank you. Listen, the difference between that phrase and the one that I shared with you before is day and night, and you're likely to get a buy-in from your partner if you go that route. The second horseman is contemptuousness. So being contempt is to really come from a place of superiority, is for you to feel like you're superior than your partner. And this could be intimately, it could be emotional superiority, it could be financial or even intellectual superiority. Now, there's no couple that wakes up in the morning and all of a sudden they're contemptuous towards each other. This is a process. This is a gradual process. So when a couple stops to cultivate the tradition of appreciating each other, they start to gradually take each other for granted. They all of a sudden feel like they can do life without this person. And Gottman says that contemptuousness is like pouring sulfuric acid on a relationship. So that's how bad it is. It will quickly destroy the relationship. People that are contemptuous will like to swear at each other. They like to name call. They like to yell disrespectfully at their partners, and sometimes they non-verbally can be contemptuous, like they would eye roll or, not maintain eye contact. Imagine you're talking to your partner, but they're busy, scrolling through their phone. So that is being contemptuous. What is the antidote to contemptuousness? The antidote to contemptuousness, or the remedy in this case, is to really cultivate that tradition of appreciating and affirming each other. For example, if you have a partner that likes to take out the garbage and they effortlessly do this, you really want to say thank you, my sweetheart, thank you, honey, for taking out the garbage. Thank you, babe, for making such a yummy dinner, even when you know that your partner really does this effortlessly. The third horseman is defensiveness. People that are defensive, they have a deep-seated need to feel right. They lack the ability to take responsibility of their actions. They don't like to be accountable. They almost feel like it is not okay to make a mistake in life. So they're so full of themselves. They always want to be right. The antidote to defensiveness is to take accountability, take responsibility of your actions, and also to remind yourself that it is okay to make a mistake. Nobody's perfect. The goal is not perfectionism, but progress. The last horseman is stonewalling. So stonewalling is when your partner literally stonewalls, or they build an emotional wall. They emotionally disconnect from you, and this tends to happen because couples are feeling stressed out. They feel overwhelmed emotionally, and so they decide to disconnect because they don't know how else to deal with the situation. Now, research says that 85% of stonewallers are men. Now, that does not mean that women will not stonewall. It just means that most stonewallers are men. Now, why is this even true? This is true because a boy child, right from childhood, they are encouraged to, not show emotion, to man up, and when you cry or show emotion as a boy child, you are not man enough. So the boy child learns from a tender age to hide their emotions or not to be comfortable with their emotions, and as a result, they may not know how to emotionally regulate, and so they may end up shutting down. So the antidote to stonewalling is to soothe. Find ways to physiologically soothe yourself. If it means going for a walk, if it means taking a nap, if it means exercising, if it means getting away as a couple, if it means whatever it is that soothes you, please try to engage in that, because stressors in life can really get to us and can even start to physiologically affect us. So those are the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. Most couples that I've worked with, they will confirm that they struggle with 1 or 2 of these horsemen. So if you are out there and you identify with some of these horsemen, it does not mean that your relationship is going to end. It just means that you can start to create awareness for yourself, and that you can actually be aware when you're starting to feel defensive, or when you're starting to be contemptuous towards your partner, and then nip that in the bud and continue to work on yourself. Remember, it is progress, not perfectionism. So thank you so much for tuning in. I enjoyed hanging out with you. Your comments, your thoughts are welcome. Hit me up in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.